So last night I started buttoning up the back of the Belvedere. I dropped the center section in and started working on the brakes, changing the wheel cylinders and whatnot, and the brake hose. And it occurred to me as I'm doing this, I'm like, you know what? This is something nobody ever takes into consideration. And it ties in with the statement I hear over and over and over again, that brakes on old cars sucked. I had to completely redo the whole braking system to get it to stop. And in my mind, I know from experience that this is nonsense, because the brakes on these older cars were perfectly adequate to slow them down from 60, 70 miles an hour under normal conditions. The suspensions weren't quite what we have today, and the tires weren't quite what we have today. But the brakes themselves, the pressure, the surface area in relation to the weight and the velocity of the car, were perfectly adequate. The problem is most people today don't really understand the nitty-gritty of these. So you get just misadjusted brakes, you've got mixed matches of components, all sorts of things. But one thing that's like completely universal, right? Because I've seen this over and over and over again. And that's brake hose, the rear brake hose. All right, so typically through the course of a car's life, the front brake hoses will go, they'll get replaced. They'll start to show, like stress cracking at the, where the fitting is, the outer layer of rubber will split, and you'll see the hose, the real hose, it's because the rubber is just like a shield. You'll see the real hose underneath and say, okay, it's time to change these out, they're cracked. Or they'll just pop, right? Because they're always being moved. Every time you turn the wheel, every time you go over a bump and turn the wheel, these things are going through all sorts of different articulations. And so the front hoses will show wear and typically get replaced several times, a couple of times during the course of a car's life. Not a big deal. But the back hose, this one, the one that goes from the body of the car to the rear axle, this is where, I'm telling you, if you've got an older car and it's like, oh, the brakes just suck on this thing, I'm telling you, here's where your problem is. Because I've seen this over and over and over and over again. It's also why I'm not really a big fan of the will it run all the way home videos. Because these cars that have been sitting for 10, 20 years, 30 years or whatever, unless you go and you dig into the rear brakes of them, you're not gonna find this. So what am I showing you here? Look at how that has narrowed down, okay? Over the course of time, see the little hole in the center there? Over the course of time, the hose has swelled, right? The inner hose has swelled, and it has choked that off to just the tiniest opening, right? But that's if you cut the hose here, and I cut this hose at a straight section of it, right? But what if you look at the hose right where that bend is? Let me see where my choppers are. Hang on. Here we go. So, let's cut the hose right at the bend. And you see it's even tighter there. Okay, I'm going to say that's less than a 10,000th of an inch opening in the center of the hose. So when you're stepping on the brakes and you're trying to send that pressure to the rear wheels, well, you're fighting through that, right? Now here's the thing with this. They generally don't show the same signs of distress that the front ones do as they get older. So you look at it at a glance and say, well, this is okay. And they also generally don't pop. They don't pop because the rear is only getting about 25, between 20 and 30% of the overall braking power of the car. So They don't see the kind of pressure that the fronts do. So if they don't leak, they don't show this, external distress, and they don't pop, well, then people just take it for granted and they say, well, that hose is good, and they leave it. No, over time they swell, and that's it. You're trying to force all of that pressure through the tiniest opening. And a lot of these, let me cut this, one right here. Yeah, the closer I get to the actual fitting, the smaller it gets. And here, let's try to blow through this. Here. I can't blow through it. It won't take air. How's this thing going to pass brake fluid? All right, so you get the general idea. With that hose, you've diminished the overall braking capability of the car by about 25%. Your fronts are doing nearly 100% of the work. Now, there's one other factor too with these old cars, or drum brake cars in general, but in this particular case, we're talking about just the rears on this, these wheel cylinders. So again, you look at a wheel cylinder and you say, well, there isn't fluid pouring out of it, it must be okay. It's not. If you look in here, you can see how rusty that is. Okay, now this side still has the rubber on it, right? So you say, well, the rubber is going to protect it from getting rusty, right? Oh, no, it's even worse on the other side. Okay, that is a seized wheel cylinder. No action there. So between the hose and this wheel cylinder, there's nothing happening in the back. And you're not going to feel it in the pedal. The pedal will feel perfect because it's got all of the pressure, from that part of the system. It's dead ending. It's dead ending at the hose, and it's dead ending at these wheel cylinders. And a lot of times you'll get these wheel cylinders where just one side will seize up, the other side will be free, and one side will seize up, where you're only operating on, if you only got half of this, you're only operating on one brake shoe in the back. See, all of these little things add up and diminish the percentage of braking each wheel or each section of it can do. If you have an older car and you're saying to yourself, oh no, the brakes suck on this thing. I mean, some people will just be like that because they got to be like that. Oh, it's old, so it sucks, right? It doesn't work. Fine. Do it, change whatever you want to change. But if you've got an older car and you say, you know what? The pedal feels good. It stops straight. I don't really see any issues, but it doesn't really want to dig in when I hit the brake. That rear brake hose is going to be constricted like I showed you. These things get to about 20 years old, and I'd say that's about their functional lifespan. They get to be about 20 years old or thereabouts, and if they sit, it's even worse, okay? But the rear brake hose and the rear wheel cylinders, right? You want to inspect the rear wheel cylinders, pop the rubber off of them, and see if you see any rust in there. Or you could tell just really at a glance by looking at the brake shoes, because you'll see if one side of the wheel cylinder is rusted and it's not operating, you'll see that one shoe won't have any scuff marks on it from the drum, and the other shoe will be worn and have. So these little things, you go through there, you pick out all of these little deficiencies in the braking system, and believe it or not, you would be amazed at how effective these old, 50, 60-year-old brake systems are. These cars weigh a lot. You're talking about, 3,500, 4,000 pound loaded weight going on a highway at 70 miles an hour on the skinny bias tires that they had back in the day and the soft suspensions. These brakes did a fantastic job of holding them down. You stiffen up the suspension a little bit, you put a modern tire on it, and you bring that ancient braking system up to snuff. You would be amazed at how well these things will stop. Even little 9-inch brakes on the compact cars like the Darts and the Valiants and the Novas and stuff like that. You'd be amazed. All right, I hope you got something out of that. But seriously, before you start firing the parts cannon and re-engineering everything in your brake system, look at all of these little details, because you would be amazed at what you're going to find. All right, I hope you got something out of that. I'll see you tomorrow.